Hey there, beautiful souls. I'm Colynn
And I'm Meridee.
and welcome to Spiritual Sisters with Sass, the podcast where two sisters with a passion for spirituality and a touch of sass come together to explore the exciting world of self-improvement.
That's right, Colynn. We embarked on this incredible journey together, diving into different self-improvement techniques, yoga practices, and a whole array of life experiences.
Yeah, and through it all, we've managed to create lives that are abundant, happy, and constantly evolving. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it, Meridee?
You bet, sis. We've got two very different perspectives on life, but that's what makes this podcast so special. I'm all about diving in head first into life's adventures and embracing every challenge with a bit of sass. While Colynn here, she's got her own unique approach.
Yep, that's me. And I'm all about the yoga, mindfulness, and finding my zen. And together we make the perfect balance.
So whether you're looking for some wisdom, a few laughs, or just some heartfelt stories, you're in the right place. We're here to share our personal experiences and insights with you, all while exploring the wild and diverse world of self-improvement.
So grab your headphones and get ready for a fantastic journey with us. Spiritual Sisters with Sass is here to uplift, inspire, and keep it real.
Thanks for tuning in, lovely listeners. Let's dive in.
Spirit and sass. Here we go. Awesome. And I want to thank everyone for joining us today for Spiritual Sisters with Sass podcast. Today we are talking about, it's like a mixture of things. It's like, how many cups are you filling up? And both of us kind of came to this call, like, I'm not feeling amazing. So
low energy.
There we go.
Oh, yay. We've
There
got
we
it figured
go.
out. Okay.
I mean, the thing about it is I pull you on as a guest in TikTok, and then now I've got you on, like, so we'll just see how it goes. Anyways,
Okay.
and
Okay.
nothing is showing. It's just like your emblem.
Okay.
So, okay. So, so basically, one of the things that I teach within business coaching is to not spread yourself too thin. And I think it might be what we're both feeling today. Yeah.
You're
So
still going.
yeah. So basically, okay, so let's just talk about this. One of the things that you and I are super excited about is getting some property. Can you mute? Because I can hear feedback.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Is it? Oh. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Now it should be better.
Okay. So, okay, so one of the things that we're both pretty excited about is getting rental properties, whether that be short-term Airbnb or long-term rentals that we can rent out. Actually multi-dwelling is more profitable or successful than single dwellings, right?
Yeah.
So today we came on the call and we're both kind of bummed, and we start talking. And so why don't we start first and foremost?
Oh, hang on, guys.
Yeah. Why don't we start first and foremost with you, Meridee, sharing, like, what was the idea that you had last week, I think it was, that came to you that you thought, okay, here we go.
A friend of mine. So, over the past couple months, even my children are First Nation status. And there are certain rules that apply to them as such, like if they live and work on reserve or live and have an office on reserve, that they then are tax-free. And being that they're status, one of the main things that we want to do is make sure that take advantage of some of the things that are benefits for my kids in this. And so this kind of has all evolved. And the way it started was a friend of mine called me. He needed some help to figure some things out. I got him in touch with someone. He got back in touch with me. And then yeah, I should just buy it's a modular home trailer. I don't know how else to say it. It's one of those
Yep.
like prefab homes that they put on a piece of property. And so it's on reserve and all of the things. And so I was like, let me buy it from you. And he had been told if he sold it kind of the way it was, it would be, around 190. I offered him a lot less than that. He accepted. We got in there because I said, like I need to check some things out. And there's a lot of issues. And a lot of issues he didn't even know were there. I'm going to say it is a lot of issues he didn't even realize there was there. He did tell me about a few issues that were happening, but now I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we don't do it this direction. Maybe I do it a different direction. And so I want to head in this different direction. Ooh, I just got a hit. My fear is not going to stop me. So you said we should talk about that on here, but right now I just got a hit of my fear isn't going to stop me in this. I need to move forward. Mine isn't so much about the passive income. Mine is more about helping my kids in a market that they're never going to be able to get into, essentially, if I don't help them. So I can't necessarily go down the road that I wanted to go because with inspections and all the things, in order to get this place to even a decent living standard, I'm looking at about 50,000 in renovations. I had planned for 30. So had he. If I'm putting $50,000 into this, I essentially could be making, or I could essentially buy a brand spanking new one for around the same as I would be paying for this unit. That if we talk to people, which I've been doing over the last few weeks, trailers like this end up with mold problems on a regular basis. As they're being built now, newer, there's a lot less problems, but as they age, certainly problems are going to happen. Mold being a main one, and that is a major problem that I've seen in this unit. So I'm kind of just looking at all the things and going like, what do I do? How do I do this? My fear has arisen in the fact that in order for me to buy them the new one, my 30,000 is not going to cut it. I'm now going 55,000 out of my own pocket in order to make this work. Over and above, obviously, what I've already got like mortgaged. So my fear has come up in, can I show up? Am I going to show up? Am I going to be able to do the things? I had some things like lining up that would have helped make this happen without a doubt. And then that thing fell through today, and that person tried to, I'm going to say, call me out. It wasn't a call out, because when you call someone out, you're calling them out on a truth. This was just sort of like, it felt like an attack. I don't feel like there was a basis to it. And so for me, what I've noticed is I have gone from like this place of flow and bliss, and this is normal, but from this place of flow and bliss and all the things into doubting myself, into fear of not being able to do the things that I say I'm going to do. And that is a major thing for me, because I believe you say what you're going to do. So if I'm going to say I'm going to, buy this trailer for my children to live in, I need to now fucking show up and do exactly what I said. And so then the doubt being there just makes it so that I question it. And one of the things I learned in DMT is every time you doubt yourself, you're doubting your greater power. I know these things, but it's not necessarily changing the way I feel when I woke up this morning or changing the way I'm feeling today so far. And when Lynn and I were talking this morning before we started this, one of the things she said to me is like, are we filling too many cups? And I have to say with this, for me, I don't think I'm filling too many cups, because I don't think I have that many cups. If I'm doing this renovation and taking on this other trailer, then I'm filling too many cups for sure. I've got way too much going on. Suddenly I have my work, my non-negotiables, my everyday life. Now I'm doing renos on top of that. Plus I need to manage a couple of kids who are trying to help me do renos and like all of the things. There's too many things going on in my life at that point. If I'm doing it the way that with this new one, it's not necessarily filling too many cups for me. but it is putting the pressure on me, which then makes me doubt myself, which takes me out of alignment, or actually doesn't even take me out of alignment, makes me feel like I'm not in alignment.
Or you feel,
Yeah, I
you
am just
feel
feeling. I
out of
am
alignment.
feeling, I'm just feeling all sorts of things right now because
Right.
I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling out of alignment. Even though, again, if we go back to what our coach said on our sales call, I think it was our sales call, maybe it was the week before, where he said, like, you're always in alignment.
Right.
I would be in alignment with exactly what I would be bringing to my life if I stay in this mindset.
Right. See, so for me, as you're talking, and this is for me, I mean, you're the only one that can touch into your intuition. I think sometimes you use these principles to gaslight yourself.
Interesting.
Because
Okay.
you said, I said I'm going to do this, therefore I have to do it. That's not true, actually. You can change your mind.
I can.
If the full idea was to create a stream of revenue from renting, then this would be a bad decision. Period.
Yeah.
To spend
Yes.
and invest that much money into something. You also said things that aren't true, that your kids will never get in this market without your help. And that's not true. Your kids will get into this market. I mean, my daughter just got into this market.
She did, but she needed help.
She had help. She definitely had pockets of money come to her in, forms of like $5,000 and a few $1,000s here and there. It wasn't in the form of $2,000 and buying a whole new trailer and then dealing with all the things. It actually was just like support and a down payment, which was the original plan. So part of this is, as you're starting to grow, as you're going into flow and alignment, here's a distraction. One of the things that I'm working with one of my clients with is the enabling of kids to stay being kids, which was essentially our very first podcast of eliminating all struggle for them, but putting a bunch more struggle on your plate. It's another cup, regardless. And now you want to eliminate the struggle that your children could go through in order to help them up level by buying them a place that then
Well, and
puts
not
you. I mean, this is it though. You don't have to defend. I'm just saying, like, what's coming up in that is like, this is you going to hit a space, and now you've hit a ceiling of fear because you're about to move into flow, or you're in flow and you're about to go to the next level
yes.
financially, and then you just bring yourself back down. And that's by taking care of your kids so they don't have to struggle or put themselves in a place where they're out there. So you're
See,
adding another
as
cup.
as you say that of me going to this next level, this to me feels like me going to this next level.
Great. Great. Then you can put a lot of time and energy, because this is what's happening for me. So it could also be me like projecting my stuff onto you. So I own a property in Costa Rica. I have a couple acres, and the way that the property is set up is that there's hills and there's flat spots. And my idea was to fill those flat spots with modular homes. They're prefabricated, they're pre-built, they're not trailers, they're houses, but same thing, right? They're modular homes that are prefabricated. And we bring them in, we create some privacy spots. We give the first building a try with Airbnb, see how it goes. Costa Rica in the summertime, for us, wintertime for the Northern Hemisphere, it brings in a lot of tourists that want like an experience beyond the ocean sometimes, but still close to the ocean. And there's an opportunity to hear to see how that will go. And I also want to hit the long-term market, because I think that might be easier than a constant turnover of the short-term market, right? And I'm in an up and coming town, because everything around the one place in Jaco, has been fully colonized.
Yeah.
And so now we can start colonizing the areas around it. I mean, I'm laughing, and it's not a joke. Yet that is my idea was to stay more within the community, and rent to locals, Costa Ricans, to offer them this amazing place that we live in. So as I was kind of like, okay, what do I do? Right? Are we going to sell and buy an apartment building in San Jose, or are we going to build on here? We've decided to build on here. And then today I'm sitting here and I'm literally building a business from the ground up again. And it takes a lot of energy. Plus I, own another business with my youngest daughter. And then I own a business that I have built from the ground up very organically for the past 8 years. So I have a lot of cups going. I'm putting 90% of my energy into the Modern Yoga Teacher Cup. Right. And I'm starting and I'm doing all the things that I'm promoting. So like Meridee brought up last week, that like there's this opportunity for people to see that it actually does work. As I build from $0 per month to 10K, and then move from 10K to 30K, and then 30K to 50, and then 50 to 100, because that's how it's going to go. So people can see like the proof. And then what I'm doing is now adding on this other thing. That's a fuckload of cups. So what it comes out to is like, just as I'm really like committing to Modern Yoga Teacher, I'm not. I'm doing my thing again where I'm like, no, this isn't enough. I need to do this other thing. So I have this passive income so that I can, and it's same, it's for my kids so that I can be there for my kids. My daughter's having a baby and my other daughter just bought a house and I want to help them. And I'm not really in a position to do that right now, right? We know my car got stolen, all this shit. So what I'm actually doing, instead of sitting in today and just having a day, I'm wanting to like do, which is avoid, and then put more shit on my plate.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because I had a conversation with our coach on Monday, and I said to him, I find on days that I work excellent under pressure and a little bit of chaos. Like it just puts the pressure on me to be even better. And one of the ways that has shown up for me is, for example, I went to the office. I went to the office early even. And then one client showed up. I had a phone call that put me 10 minutes behind. And now the pressure's on because I have to be somewhere, say at 2:00. And I have a 15-minute drive to get to that place and all of these things. And I have all these clients lined up and all these things. And so I like pound through everything and I kill it. I go make my 2:00 appointment. And then I get back to the house. I still haven't finished my non-negotiables. So I sit my ass down and I get my non-negotiables done. And 2.5 hours later, I'm done everything. It's 5:00. I normally don't work that late, but it's 5:00. I can finally sit on the couch. And now I can't unwind. Now I can't just sit on the couch. Now I want to go clean. I wipe counters. I vacuum the floor, even though it's not cleaning day, because I do have my set cleaning days because I have schedules. I do vacuum every day, but this was like another level. Like I'm going to vacuum every day. I'm going to vacuum. I need to wipe my counters, just the whole thing. And I was like, but also I'm supposed to be sitting in my divine feminine, and the divine feminine, what does that look like? And it's funny because this came up because it seems like everyone says the divine feminine holds space, and the divine feminine is, the one that like we hold the space, we don't do et cetera, except men can't multitask. Men can do one task at a time. And he even said, like, somebody will be talking to me and then they'll ask me to do something and they'll keep talking. And as I'm doing the thing, I look at them and go, what? I missed everything you said because I just did the thing you asked me to do. Whereas a woman can be having that conversation, doing the thing, and then doing another thing, and then holding a baby, and then making dinner and wiping the counters and doing all of the things at the same time. He said, so in fact, is the divine feminine actually just being? He said, because to me, you guys are doing a whole lot more than I can do in one sitting. And I was just like, shit. I said, okay, so what about my unwinding? And he's like, well, you get so wound up that you need to slow yourself down. He's like, and sitting down and watching Netflix is not how you slow down. He's like, you need to sit down and maybe meditate to bring your nervous system back to calm, because I put it into like basically a state
Overdrive.
of fight or state of fight or flight, survival mode. I got to get through this because I put the pressure on myself. And he laughed because he's like, isn't survival mode where we all think we're thriving because we actually did all the things. And I was just like, oh shit. So really my survival mode is not necessarily supporting me because I'm putting my everything into hyper overdrive. Yes, I do fine in it, but that's not where I want to live.
There's so much more beyond it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the piece about the cups. So then we're both having days. They're days. I
Yep.
mean, I don't like to say good or bad because I'm in yoga, there's a massive idea or concept or philosophy that nothing is good or bad. Everything just is. Not even just, everything is. And so when there's a day like this, we have the opportunity to see that this is actually like a tool, not a bad day. And right now, that tool is a whisper.
I was just going to say the universe
Hey,
is whispering in our
you're
ears.
so
now.
busy. Look at when you're so busy, you know, some days are going to not go the way you want them to. That also is being in alignment.
Yeah.
Right? The whole situation is calling you back to slow down.
Yeah.
And what do? Oh, let's
I gotta go. I gotta go.
buy
I
a
gotta go.
house. Let's do something else because I need to make more money because the only way that I feel that I am whole is if I have finances and if I'm doing this and if I'm a good mother and if I'm hold on, I can help you. And so now the opportunity is for, I mean, I love that, to be in the divine feminine, to be or to keep doing. And I mean, my general reaction is to keep doing. So for me to hear right now, it's funny because I had one of my students lead today's mastermind group call, and it was on intuition. And one of the things that I said was that for me, I can recognize intuition, and it's often hindsight. The intuition will be like telling me, no, 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 no. But my ego is telling me, I have to do this. I have to do this because it's going to help my kids. I have to do this because it's going to this. I have to do this because of this. And then later I'm like, you know, I had the hit right off the bat. Don't do it. But my ego, like the master manipulator, came in and brought in the dangly carrot. Oh, but I thought you wanted to help your kids. I thought that's why you're doing all. I thought this was one of your whys. And it's like, fuck. So this is the whispering. This is the opportunity to get quiet, to stop doing, to really ask for some guidance.
Yes.
Because we both know very well if we just keep doing and we just the chaos that we both know so well as normal. I mean, I became a fucking ER nurse, dude.
Yeah.
And loved it.
Yeah.
The fuck is that? So the chaos is so normal. That's where we're comfortable. That's where we go back, you know, like fried chicken as a comfort food, or like soup. Chaos is our fried chicken or our chicken noodle soup. That's where we'll head to be like, ah, fuck. And then on top of it, you know, you get a message of somebody, don't take anything personal, of somebody's own reflection of their own bullshit. You already know because you've already done it. You have essentially done what this person said. So essentially she's selling a section of the business. It involves so much, like equipment, coaching, like everything. This is Meridee's knowledge from her whole fucking life of doing this. All the things to do, not to do, is included in this package price. But, you know, dude found it for way cheaper. So then he gets mad at her. Okay, cool, right on. You go do it.
He found the training for way cheaper. So training is on protocols. That's it.
So she already knows
what I was saying.
You're going to buy the training, then you're going to buy the equipment, and then you're going to spend years learning what I could have taught.
Making huge mistakes, costing yourself so much money.
Right? And then
Yeah.
you're probably going to try to sell the business for a higher price because of all your knowledge. There's a story that I was told that there was a baggage, like a conveyor belt in the baggage area, and it fucks up. And so they do all they can to try to fix it. And I mean, it's like halting the fucking airport because people can't get their bags, and they now luggage is getting lost because they're moving them to other conveyor belts, and like it's a big thing. And so one guy says, hey, I know a guy, but he's expensive. And they're like, I don't care, I'll pay anything, let's just get this up and running. So the guy comes, he walks in, he takes his little wrench and he goes, and he says, that will be $20,000, please. And they're like, what? But it only took you
you
5 minutes. And he's like, you're not paying for my 5 minutes. You're paying for my 20 years knowledge that I knew exactly what to do in 5 minutes to fix this fucking problem for you.
Yes.
That's what he was paying for. But you know what? Go ahead, dude. You take the long road because you know better. And now I'm a piece of shit. Right on.
Yeah.
So what's your comfort going to be? It's going to be like, okay, let's just like get busy. But the opportunity here is to recognize this is a tool. I'm discombobulated. So now I want to do a bunch of shit to fix it.
And what I really need to do is sit with it. I need to meditate and ask for some information and tell me what steps to take, and I will listen. But instead, for the morning, it was go do my workout and get it out of my mind because I don't like the way my body physically feels right now. And not the way the outside of my body physically feels. The way my physical, like the way my physical body is reacting to whatever it is that is going on inside of me, because the universe is speaking to me and I'm not necessarily listening. So after our podcast recording today, I do have a masterclass, and then I am going to go have a meditation, and I'm going to sit with it, and I'm going to listen to whatever it has to say, no matter how uncomfortable that makes me, because I already feel like it's going to make me uncomfortable. It's already making me uncomfortable. So how much more uncomfortable am I going to get? And I'm going to listen to it, and then we'll go from there and try and find some solutions. But I need to listen. I need to slow down and listen first.
Because if you don't, it gets louder. Like we know this, right? Universe whispers. If you don't listen, it slaps you. Or you don't listen, it hits you with the dump truck.
Now, that being said, you also can't let this take you down a different road. So literally, I know people who with different mindsets would take what just happened today and be like, well, why the fuck am I even bothering doing this? What is the purpose of this? I'm done then. I'm just not going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'll just keep doing what I was doing. And in my message from my coach today, he literally said, if you're going to be the thought leader in your space, which you already are, Meridee, you asked for this. So be prepared. More people are going to come to you and be like, yo, this is bullshit, because I am changing and challenging what is the norm. So go find a cheaper option. And
which
you go struggle,
really,
because
in the long run, isn't a cheaper option.
Yes. Yes. And so that's my solution for what I'm feeling today. Now, also, full moon energy is a big energy. And if you're conscious at all about your energy and how you're feeling, like I even said when Lynn and I hopped on today, I was like, poof, it's just so powerful. And then I was like, I wonder if there's like a full moon. And sure shit, it was yesterday. So I am very aware, because oftentimes my cycle will align with the full moon, which, oh, guess what? It did. And so when my cycle aligns with the full moon, I'm that much more sensitive. I'm that much more, I don't even know the word. I'm sensitive. I'm hyperactive. I need to do because I don't like how the way I feel in the moment. But instead, what I really need to do is be for a minute and shut up and listen.
Right.
And what we try to do is run when that feeling comes.
Right. And just knowing that, like, also that the analogy of pouring into the cups, if you think that you only have so much energy in here, right? It could be ever filling. But that means that you need to take time to have compassion, to be putting your energy towards self-actualization, like becoming one with God or one with the universe, because that's where the energy has like is unlimited. Those kind of pieces. Yet we shut down and don't do as much for self because we do more. So if you only have so much energy, right, and some of it's leaking to the things that haven't really been done, or the relationships that haven't been closed, or some of that, then that's a constant drain on the energy. And then it depends on, like, this energy is going into how many more cups. So I think of like jack of all trades, master of none, which is something that I teach my clients all the time. I do believe like the path is multiple streams of income from one focus. That's how I feel. I mean, even within the company that I'm running, the old owner is like full on just focus on one thing, one program, that's it. To me, I think that's putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
When you put all your eggs in one basket and that one basket breaks,
You lose all your eggs.
you have nothing. So what do? You have to start right back from the bottom again. Whereas if you have multiple streams of income, you have clients rebuying, you have a situation in which you're creating like an ecosystem, so that if this thing isn't doing so well at this moment, at least you have these other things. If I had everything in on only running yoga teacher trainings, based on where I am right now and other people that are experiencing the similar story, I'm just going to call it a story because I'm aware that it's a story of like the global economic crisis.
Yep.
I would be fucked. I'd be making $0. Now, I'm not making 30 grand a month, which is difficult, but I can tell you that there's an income, and it's because I have multiple streams that I am able to pay my bills, that I'm able to eat, that I'm not borrowing money, even though my car got fucking stolen, to be able to like live. So there is that of like even having the one cup, let's just say, of laser quit. There's still another cup over here, right, where there's income coming from another business. And so how many cups can you really pour into until you're fucking exhausted, until your nervous system? The best thing you can do for your nervous system is unitask.
Single tasking, you mean?
Yeah, that's it. It's not multitasking. Number one way to regulate one thing at a time.
Yeah, but then there's no chaos.
Right?
Yeah. Then there's no chaos. And then it's way too easy because there's no chaos.
Right. Then it's boring.
See, and for me with what, like, say I purchased this house for the kids, I don't see that as really much. I don't need to put much into it except money. But there's the piece of who will I let down if I didn't do it? Like there's just this fear, and I don't want to be in fear. But fear also comes to us to show us to sit down sometimes. And so for me, like I said, today I'm going to sit with it and see what my answer is, because I'm not entirely sure where I'm supposed to go with all the things that are going on in my life right now. I know what I'd like to do, but is that the right solution? And what do I do next? Right? Like Brooke has given her notice at her place. That being said, she's paying rent at a place she's not at right now, because every time she goes back there, her dog is a constant reminder, and she has not finished her grieving process. So she needed to get out of it anyways. But I need to sit with this. I need to really make a decision on what I'm doing and how I'm going to move forward and what that means. Because it does I feel like it makes me uncomfortable to not move forward with this. But what's the answer? And I'm not going to get it sitting here with my eyes open, even having a conversation with someone. I have to get quiet and listen for the answer to come.
Right.
I can't doubt myself, because every time I doubt myself, I'm doubting my higher power. I'm doubting God. I'm doubting the universe. And we've already learned where that leads us.
Right. I also love that you basically are saying the answer. Like if I were to ask you which is intuition, which is ego, would you match intuition with discomfort and ego with comfort?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably. Not all the time, because my intuition isn't always uncomfortable. My intuition is often just like, sometimes it's like, it is the right direction to go. Say that it would be all the time, that would be the case. However, a good portion of the time, yeah. And also, into discomfort is where we grow. Sitting in your comfort zone, nothing beautiful grows in your comfort zone. And I'm
Right.
fully aware of that. Where is my, like, I know you're saying I've got the answer, and maybe when I'm done, the answer will be the same as the one that you're hearing come from me.
Mhm.
And maybe I'm just not hearing it, because
Mhm.
for me, the discomfort is doing the thing that I'm saying I'm going to do. The comfort is falling back into just saying no, not spending the money, not doing the things that make me uncomfortable, and just keep focusing on what I'm doing, which, it's comfortable, but it's also a good path.
You actually said the complete opposite. You said not doing it would be uncomfortable because then you worry about people that you're letting down. And doing it would be comfortable because that's what you're used to, is creating challenges and chaos for you. You didn't
Doing
say
it,
that last piece. I said that. You said not doing it would be really uncomfortable. You can watch the
well,
replay.
and see, and it's interesting because not doing it would be uncomfortable, but doing it or not doing it is uncomfortable. Doing it is also uncomfortable, because
Doing
I'm putting this
it is
pressure on myself.
but putting pressure on yourself is comfortable for you, Meridee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Because I work well in chaos, like we just said, except I don't. We all do, because we're thinking we do,
right,
because you put your nervous system into
right.
survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm going to sit with this regardless of whether I have the answer right now or not, because for me, meditation is where I feel I find the truest answer.
And that's another piece too, is like I loved what, I mean, I would even love to share what we witnessed today with the intuition piece. Is like the intuition piece is this. The thinking is the mind. Like you already have the answer and you already know, but like also the other piece to it is like whatever you do is the right thing.
Yep.
Like maybe you need to take the long road and then be like, ah, fuck. You know what I've come up with in the last little bit is there was this time in 2017 that I started something called Kick-Ass Yogapreneurs. I launched a beta program. I charged $1,000 to get in. It was a 6-month program. It was, I don't even think I had like meetings weekly. It was just, I was creating the program. Here are the videos. You watch the videos. And that was kind of how it was. But maybe there was still Kick-Ass Yoga. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. But I remember I had a coach at the time. And she said, this is the thing. She said it. This is the thing for you. And if you go with this, it will take you exactly where you want to go. So great. I mean, I did do it, but I put my energy into 87,000 different cups, different chaoses and moving and selling and all this shit. And here I am now. And it's like 8, 9 years later. And what am I doing? Kick-Ass Yogapreneurs as modern yoga teacher. And I had this understanding the other day, like, first of all, it wasn't wrong because this journey has been massive. It's been, I mean, I live in fucking Costa Rica. There's so many things. I have so many insights. And I had the opportunity to do this and not create chaos. and to like fully embody that, and I didn't. And so now I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, it was a 9-year detour. And it was also the right path, because whatever path we're on is the right path. And so I get it. But like, here I am again, coming back to worthiness and coming back to trusting myself. And like, fuck.
Right? Like these days, just so much reflection happens in these days.
Right. If we don't just like go into doing again. Oh, fuck. Now I got to go do this and this and this and this. And how am I going to come up with this? And no. More chaos.
Yeah.
And that's what hit me today was like, listen, right now, if I really want to have success with modern yoga teacher, I need to stop trying to have success with real estate. Because I have a client that has been creating, a real estate enterprise. And, she is doing it, I think, in the way that is the smartest. I'm not a real estate mogul. I don't know. And what's coming up is that it's still it's its own job. And she's overwhelmed because not only is she doing this one thing that takes up a lot of time and energy, plus a partner that has things that's taking up a lot of time and energy. Now this dream is becoming the area for burnout.
So interesting.
Yeah. I feel like that's good. I mean, we want to know what you choose next week, of course.
Yeah.
And whatever you choose isn't wrong. But like, your focus really is to build laser quit.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So one of the things that I teach in the mastermind is called pick a path. Then I literally have you like draw out this like big wide bottom, right? That comes into a focus, and an X at the top and an X at the bottom. The X is you, and the X at the top is your focus. And so what's the focus? And this is what's also helping me, because right now I'm creating the videos for it. And I'm like, fuck, if modern yoga teacher is my focus, what I would advise my students is like, if this real estate thing is coming up, how is it helping modern yoga teacher? Oh, it's not. So when I hit this goal that I am setting for modern yoga teacher, then I can explore real estate. And you know what? I'll probably be in a better financial position to explore real estate when I hit the goal that I want with modern yoga teachers. Today was a good reminder of like, oh, this is why things aren't aligning and just like falling into place. It's not about giving up. It's not about like, what are people going to think? It's not that I said this thing and now I'm not doing. Yeah. It's just that like, my goal is modern yoga teacher, and my goal is to build that up. And so I don't need to be micromanaging people building places in my property. I don't need to be like, it's more chaos and stress. Shit. Oops. Thanks, bad day.
Right. And then it leads us to where we are now. Yeah. I have already noticed both of us, our energies have completely changed from when we got on the call. I'm getting some downloads just sitting here.
Let's just remake our hello. It was like this.
Literally.
Hey.
But do you see how like us listening, because I've just gotten a few hits. I'm not going to talk about them right now because I do need to meditate even on the hits that I've gotten. But I've had a few hits in these conversations, and even like different solutions to these conversations.
Yeah.
And I just, like my whole energy has changed. I feel like this like I've got things I've got to do today. I'm gonna meditate because it's so important to me that I get the answer I need, not the answer I want, the answer I need to move forward in this.
Yeah.
But I love that even just our conversation has completely changed the energy of both of us in this. Being open and vulnerable about what we're going through and the experience that we're having and how uncomfortable we both are right now.
Yeah. For sure.
So I'm interested to see what my answer is next week.
Me too.
See what we're doing. Right?
Yeah.
So make sure you guys join us next week.
Yeah.
when we give you the answer as to what we're working towards, because I'm getting a lot of intuitive hits right now with some information. I already have some meetings today that I'm going to leave it at that, because there's some things that are coming to me right now, and I'm really grateful that you guys joined us on this journey of us figuring our shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the best pause. You were like this. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us today. We appreciate you guys and your weekly downloads. I love that when I sign in on a Wednesday, even though it was only released at 6 a.m., there's, between 4 and more downloads that have already happened.
Yeah.
So we're super grateful for you guys listening, and thanks for joining us on this journey of straightening out our energy and getting our shit together.
Yes. Thank you for joining us on this spirited journey today.
We hope you enjoyed diving into the world of self-improvement with us. Two sisters who found their own unique paths.
Remember, life is a tapestry of experiences, and it's how we embrace them that makes all the difference.
So whether you're on your yoga mat, exploring mindfulness, or simply navigating life's twists and turns, always keep that spirit and sass alive.
We are Colynn and Meridee Lockoff, and we're here to remind you that happiness and abundance are within reach.
Stay connected with us on social media and keep those questions and stories coming. We love hearing from you.
Until next time, beautiful souls, keep doing the work, keep sharing your experiences, and keep living a life that's authentically you.
And never forget to add a little extra sass to your day.
Spirit and sass, always.